Hi, everyone, and welcome. Oops, hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga. Let's begin our transitional time with the block between your legs coming forward on your chair. So you start to bring yourself into a better, more mindful place of alignment with your body. So sitting up tall and using that block to help strengthen that awareness of your inner thighs, of that core, that very basic core strength. So we'll start there and, start to quiet your mind. You start to adjust and pull away from the outside activities, the external influences, let's say. And you start to bring yourself into, which I like about the chair, is that it's like bring yourself to the chair. The space of the chair now is your domain, and you quiet yourself and kind of come away from the external um, you know influence that you've been dealing with, this morning so far. So we start that transitional period. And I want you to start to notice as soon as you feel that you've settled in and you feel comfortable and balanced in your pelvis, and you can feel your feet to the earth, that you start to notice your breath. You might take a few, maybe several real big cleansing breaths so you can really feel like you started fresh, cleanse that breath. Whatever appeals to you, however you bring yourself into that breath awareness. I'm going to start with that. And either using your hand, that the mudra position, to alternate nostril breathing, or just the idea of intentionality, that you're going to just focus your imagination and your intention on breathing in that alternate nostril way. You choose. And we'll begin with that. And I'm going to use some of the qualities. I just have a list here handy to help me remember and help, be able to share with you as you're doing it, what are the kind of energies you're honoring and fostering by doing that. Let's start with left nostril breathing, that you're breathing in through the left and out through the right. So it's kind of like that's the inhale is sort of the energizing breath. So we're going to energize or become more aware of left side breathing. And so that goes in through the left and out through the right. In through the left, exhale through your right nostril, either plugging the nostrils or simply doing that with your intention. The qualities of that energy, which just to remind you, the left side of the body corresponds with the right brain, the right side of the brain. It is considered feminine. It's associated with the moon. Qualities of this energy are receptive, heart-centered, creative, calm, collected, non-linear, nurturing, gathering, or communal in nature. It's more associated with being versus doing. And it's a cooperating energy. So as we continue with our breath coming in through the left and out through the right, we know those are the kind of qualities we are honoring and fostering. The next time you exhale out that right side, stay on the right side and then switch your breath, turn it over. So you're inhaling now right and exhaling left. So maybe you switch now with your hand position or however you're doing it. But now we're inhaling right and exhaling left. Those qualities, that is, the right side of the body corresponds with the left side of the brain. It is oriented to the sun. Qualities of this energy: giving, action or doing, solving. It's mind-centered, linear, disciplined, standing out or winning. It's competitive. So we're inhaling right and exhaling left. And as I've shared many times, it's really helpful. I think it's very potent in our transitional time to use a very specific breath practice that takes all of your awareness to do it. So stay with that, just a few more breaths in through the right and out through the left. And then exhale completely. And then take an inhale through both nostrils and exhale that one out of your mouth with the sound of a ah. And let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale the sound of a sigh. Ah. And then bring your hands to the prayer position at your heart. And maybe you bow, maybe you've got your eyes closed, however you're doing it. We're coming into now just this merging of all that. So I just want you to maybe just reflect on a moment and relax into the truth of your own wholeness. Relax into the truth of your own wholeness. Just breathing in and out. Maybe you can feel how your chest rises when you're breathing, so you can feel that as a felt experience with your hands. Not only with your body, breathing, but you can feel your hands against your chest. Good. And then let's begin. Inhale all the way up and exhale back to your heart. Inhale up and exhale, take a circular movement all the way around like a backstroke. Let's do a few of those backstrokes. Come as far back and around as you can. Straight arms. You're trying to do this with straight arms. And it's a vinyasa. So we inhale as arms come up. We exhale as arms go down. Just loosening up the shoulders. I bet there's various places you feel it in your body when you're doing this. All the way up and around. You to touch your fingertips to your shoulders and we'll circle those elbows. Try to keep your head pretty stationary. It's bound to move a little bit, but what I'm trying to avoid is sort of ducking, sort of making room for the stretch by changing your head position and pulling it forward. See if you can keep it at least upright. Some movements are probably natural, but you get what I'm saying. We're going to change that direction. Maybe we bring our elbows together right center there, take a pause, and that'll bring us into this change of direction now, out and away. Let your breath inform you. You're breathing through this. Maybe it's a noisy breath, informing you of any tightness or any just informing you about the range of movement you're experiencing or limitation of that. And back to sort of the wings, we're going to open and close that. Go as far open as you can and then bring that together. If the wrists are giving you problems, then soften your hands in some way. They don't have to be touching your shoulders. This is just simply a way to access this bent elbow position. So if there's a little adjustment you need to make that's a little kinder to your wrist, be sure to do that. Very wide open and then closing it up in the center. And then let's reach up. Just reach up, palms will face forward. Feels like a full body stretch. Push your feet to the floor. Lift up. Feel the stretch. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel that little squeeze for the block so you can feel those inner thighs. Lift up, look up if your neck is agreeable to that. If not, just keep your head neutral. Keep your chin in a position where it feels parallel to the floor and it's very neutral for you. Breathing both in and out. Big full body stretch. And then let's just alternate the arm swing. So as we bring our arm up and down, we're going to do it as an alternating movement right alongside the frame of the chair. Let's connect our breath. Inhale, both arms are up. Exhale, one arm is down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, the other arm is down. So you get the hang of that. We're switching, but just adding that connection to the breath. And we're going to do it two more. So one more on each hand. Each arm is going to go down and up. And when we've got arms up and we're inhaling, exhale into your T. So really stretch out with palms facing up. Spread your fingers apart. Push your feet to the floor. Feel like you're backing into the wall. So the back of your head in your back body, just imagine that you're backing yourself into the wall so that you're using that as a way of right alignment, assuring yourself you're in right alignment. And we'll just use our imagination for that. Because we want the top of the head in line with the base of the spine. We want our head positioned well on that spine and in relation to our back and our shoulders. Too often our pattern or habit has been to thrust our head forward of the body, and we're going to try to use this imagination of the wall to help us correct that. Flip your hands so palms are facing forward. We still have our fingers spread wide open. We'll take a diagonal line here. Check to make sure your arms are in a single plane. Take a look at the hand that's reaching up and use this as a way to stretch your neck. So as you're looking up, you're trying to you're feeling your way into your body, and you're going to move and turn and stretch as you feel the sensation of the range of movement of your neck and head as you turn in this direction. Steady that breath. Be sure to exhale completely every time. Let's just bring the head back to neutral. Take a switch so the diagonal line is going the other way. Double check that you still remain. Here's what I see all the time in class is that that lower arm is too far back. So I'm just giving you that reminder to make sure your arms are in the single plane. Now we're turning our head the other way, stretching the neck, getting to know what kind of range of movement we've got over here. So this one, you're going to be moving a little bit. You're exploring, breathing into what you're feeling. And remember, the secret sauce is to remember to breathe out, to finish your exhale every time. Can you feel the balance in your pelvis too? It's funny, when we lift an arm up, we start kind of changing the way we are sitting. So see if you can override that in case that showed up. Let's bring our head back to neutral. Now that top arm is just going to reach way back there to touch between your shoulder blades. Get your upper arm and your elbow as close to your head as you can. And then we're going to take that other hand and hold on to that bent elbow. So we've got a frame around our head. Push into your feet. Lift up through your armpits. So you want to feel that. The armpit chest is a big source of support here, lifting up and helping you get into a nice elongated spine and feeling the length also through the side body. Breathe in, breathe out. You want that exhale to, layer itself all over your body, all over the stretching. Beautiful. And then take a backstroke to come out of that. Let's do a few. Straight arms. Trying to keep your head, held upright without ducking. And then we're going to do the side too. So we want to reach back, touch our fingertips maybe between the shoulder blades or just somewhere back there toward the center. And we're drawing that arm towards your head, elbows up, and then grab hold of that elbow, framing your head once again. So you feel real neutral about the way you're holding your head inside that frame, using your armpit chest to elongate a little bit more. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. And breathe. You'll notice your breath changes. Sometimes it's kind of peaceful, kind of an easy breath, handling things just fine. And sometimes it's noisy. It requires a lot of strength. That's the Ujjayi breath that shows up. That's that strong breath, goes deep within. So you just notice it. It's just kind of fun to realize how your breath just makes those adjustments to support you all day long. One more good breath here. We'll take that back stroke to come out. Arms are going to be right alongside the frame of the chair, a wardrobe adjustment, and pull back now. Get your hands right alongside the frame of the chair. Pull back with those strong, straight arms. Chest bone comes forward. You're going to feel the arch of the back. This, of course, is our cow pose, our extended spine. Let's keep the head neutral. So we're not going to lift up the chin. We're trying to just feel a real arch, very definite arch of the back body. I'm just noticing, I want to make sure my feet are straight. It's really important that with little things like that help support you better than you realize. Deepening that breath in and out. So you feel the shape of it. You know, you're familiar with this, but it's just a reminder what this feels like when you're expressing this pose and how it feels when you're breathing through it. Good. And then bring your hands to your kneecaps, straight arms, shoulders remain right, stacked above the hips. And the movement is through the midsection. Your spine is pulling back right through the midsection. I use the reference of your navel pulling back, creating a dome or a C-shaped curve of your back. Head drops, chin is dropping. Full breath in and out. So it's just the opposite movement. Feels pretty good after doing that big stretch, that big extension of the spine. This just feels like a natural way to relieve that stretch, kind of an opposite movement. And then we're going to do this as we do as a vinyasa, inhaling and exhaling, moving between those two postures. Ways that you can challenge yourself when you feel like, you know, you're getting bored with your practice is to do more, not less. Do more of the routine, the repetitions, and also maybe holding it longer. So maybe you deepen your breath longer. It's a slower breath, so it really keeps you in each pose longer. That's a good challenge. I like to really emphasize the movement of the belly, pulling the belly in, sucking it way in, and then I soften when you're coming into the cow pose. That belly action is good for those internal organs. I like to move like that. I like to strengthen my belly wall like that. All right, last time. Inhale both arms up, full body stretch. We're going to again return to just one arm at a time coming down. So inhale both arms up, exhale one arm down alongside the frame of the chair at the pace of your breath. So don't try to keep up my pace. I'm just trying to illustrate. So you find the movement that is associated with your breath. Do it on one more time for each side. Inhale up and exhale back to the T. Stretch through your arms, through your fingers and hands. I've got wide open, spread fingers apart. Flip those hands so palms are facing forward. Find your diagonal line. This time look down. Remember, your both arms need to be in a single plane. We won't be here long. Take one more full breath in and out. Bring your head back to neutral. Change your diagonal line. And look down on the other side. Breathing both in and out. Inhale, palms together overhead. Exhale at the heart. Inhale up and exhale all the way around. Let's put the block under the chair and take a little wider stance. Actually, I want you to put the block, how about this idea? Put the block on its low side right there in front. And for now, let's just move around a little bit, get your wide angle. Let's say maybe circle around. We'll get to this in a minute, but I just thought of it when I was putting it under the chair. Wait a minute, I'm going to use that. So just bringing it out. Let's change the direction of that. Make sure you're all caught up with your breathing. Let's hold on to the chair. So to begin with, we're just going to hop over that. You're going to keep one leg stationary and the other leg is taking a hop. When you make your hop, you start probably just in its neutral position. What I mean by that is the angle you started with. But you might begin to take a bigger leap, that you're getting further away with that, the leg that's in motion. It's taking a bigger leap. Goes way over there. So we're moving through that hip. You know, this is a great way of, as we work the joints, this is a really good one to work and loosen up into the hip. And it strengthens the low back to boot. All right, we'll switch sides. So plant your foot, take a pause. Maybe you need to catch up with your breath or do some adjustment, and then you'll just hop over that block and start the movement here. Find your breath. We can go shallow. We're working so hard on what's going on with our legs that all of a sudden the breath is kind of taking a back seat. So deepen your breath again, and then begin to take the bigger leap. It's wider than before. Everybody will be different. We're just going to take our biggest leap. All right, stay with it. Another one. I have to grab a Kleenex. And we'll land with both feet on the floor. And I'm still holding onto the chair, although you might decide hands at the waist works well, because here's what we're going to do. You're going to take one knee and drop it to touch that block. So you're just going to drop that knee in to touch that block. So your inner part of your knee is dropping down. So however you want to support that, if holding onto the chair feels better to you, feels like you're not going to slide off the chair, or if you're trying to, really use a lot of core strength and making sure you're optimizing your practice here, you might not hold the chair and rely on different muscles. So stay with it a few more. One knee dropping in to touch that block. Little twisting action. Next time it's touching the block, just leave it there. See what you can do. Hold it, lift yourself up nice and tall. Maybe you decide, you're going to just make this a little more fancy. Get your arms up in the air, lengthen through the side body. Breathe through the sensation that you're experiencing. It's where you feel it. You want to notice that. Good. And then let's get arms back down. We'll get that knee up. And of course, we're going to reset a little bit and go to the other side. Yep. See, for whatever reason, it feels like that block had to move. So either hands at the waist, hold your chair, or combination, maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Try to keep yourself up and outright rather than looking at what you're doing down here. So your head is held up. Just noticing the experience, how this feels in your body. Smooth out your breath. Keep yourself very upright. Don't cave in your chest. You're upright. All right, next time we drop and hold. You're going to drop that knee and hold, kind of make sure it feels okay. Maybe the block has to be moved a little bit so it supports you better. All that's fine. You make your adjustments so you can do it. And you can stay right like this, arms down or holding onto the chair, or you might decide to do something a little different, a little more challenging by raising straight arms up. Breathe through the length of your body now. Full breath in and out, feeling your way through. Beautiful. Let's get the arms down and we'll get that knee back up. And then I want you to get onto your toes so you can work out some of, maybe tension that started to gather into your feet or your ankles. So keep the balls of your feet down and then move the rest of your foot. So I'm just kind of circling around, pressing around, making sure I feel loose, that they didn't get all tight. The block is going to be used, but more side. So I'm just moving it over to the side. So I'll have easy access. And then let's quickly go through our joints. So I'm going to hike up one leg and move through that ankle joint. Keep yourself upright. Don't tilt yourself back. I caught myself doing it. So bring yourself upright so your shoulders are still stacked above your hips. And then stop the movement of the foot and move into the knee. We already did a little work with the knee by dropping it in toward that center like we did. Change the direction of the circle at least once so you're moving around, loosening up that knee in a lateral fashion. And then hug that knee into the chest by way of your shins, holding it in. Pull it in. Pull it way in. Keep yourself very upright. Flex the foot. So you've got that foot flexed like your toes are trying to reach up towards your shin. Big breath in and out. And we'll bring that down and we'll scoop up the other leg. Make sure you're all caught up with your breath. Maybe, this is kind of a resting time where it's not too active. You can hold yourself upright and kind of catch up with your breath. Move through the joints, be sure to move your toes. Let's go into the knee. So we start circling around. Change the direction at least once, just lateral movements. And when we hug the knee into the chest, we change to hold on to the shin, lift up, flex that foot, sit up real tall. That standing leg, the foot that's on the floor, press it down. So you feel how stable that changes things. You feel much more active and much more stabilized because you activated that standing leg. Big deep breath in and out. And both feet to the floor. All right. Here's something I discovered in my chair. Everybody's different in the type of chair you're using. So if you've got a chair that's kind of got a little indentation in it, this probably will not be something that you'll even pay attention to because it doesn't matter on the chair you're using. Mine's very flat. It's just a flat board. It doesn't have any dip in it. So I found that I could scoot back and with the next thing we're going to do, and it actually felt a little more supportive. So just throwing that out to maybe mess around with where you are on the chair when we do this. I'm moving over to this side a little bit so I can take a wide step. Both legs are in a right angle. And I've got the block. I'm going to put the block on the inside of my ankle. So again, both legs are right angle. And instead of, which leg are you facing? The front of the chair. So you still continue to adjust your shoulders and square your hips and shoulders to the front of the chair. So we're going to start by leaning our elbow into our thigh and finding ourselves kind of in a diagonal line. Now, either hold on to the chair, which I have come to like, hold on to the chair to pull this shoulder back, or you wrap it around and press the back of your hand into your back body. So if your chair isn't suitable, it's not really serving you in that way to hold on to it, then you'll go to just pressing your hand into the back body. So it'll pull that top shoulder back and you're keeping yourself in a diagonal line, more or less. So we've got this option of holding it with it's called a side angle. Duh, it's so simple, but that is the name of the pose. With your elbow on your thigh, or deepening it would be, you would do that by bringing your hand to the block. So you choose. And of course, you've got various positions of the block. So you could kind of, change how you do it to suit your needs. I'm holding on to the chair back, in the back of me. That's what I'm using. I like the way that feels. So let's deepen into that. Press both feet to the floor really strong. And feel now the space in the rib cage. I want you to just feel like you're breathing and expanding along the rib cage. That's most exposed. One side is contracted and the other side is more exposed. And that's the one we're trying to breathe in some more space. Pay attention to how your neck is doing. The weight of the head and how you're managing it really makes a big difference. So don't take that for granted. Manage the weight of your head. Try reaching that arm instead of pushing it against the back of you. It's a strong, long arm, lays right past your ear. I've got a mitten hand on. Nice. Now, grab hold of your block. Grab hold of the block so when you come up, you've got it. You can use it. I'm going to use it on its high side. Switching sides. My legs are not doing anything different. I'm going to keep them right where they are. And I'm just going to switch it to this side. Lift up, look up. Press both feet to the floor. Pay attention to how your neck feels, what kind of movement you want to offer that. Big breath in and out. Now, of course, that contracted side is opening. We just opened it up. One more good breath. And we'll come back down and just sort of center yourself. Take a moment to make your adjustments in your body. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Both legs are in a right angle. We still orient ourselves to the front of the chair. Got our block handy in case that's what we decide to use. And we start by elbow and forearm to the thigh. Don't let that leg collapse, in case it starts to drag itself toward the center. Keep it open. Kind of helps that's part of what the elbow and the forearm's duty is to keep your legs stabilized. Either holding onto your chair to pull that top shoulder back, or you wrap it around your back body. And you're creating a kind of a diagonal line and holding your head in a proper way. So you're managing the weight of your head. Let's deepen the breath. Both feet feel like they're really pressing down to the ground for you. You could hold it just like this, or you could start to deepen it. Hand to the block, and maybe arm overhead. Remember, any of these components you get to change or make it your own. Do it a little differently. Try to create space again on this side between the ribs. So it's like you're trying to lift the ribs cage up a little bit. You can feel a little expansion, a little stretch. Press your feet to the floor. That's going to help balance you. So it's like you're using everything to strengthen and hold this pose. Full breath in and out. Good deal. Grab hold of the block. Let's come on up. Maybe right now there's a little adjustment you're making. That's great. Over to the other side. We just switch it. Look up. Keep your legs open wide. Don't let them collapse. Look up if you can. Lift your head to look up. Keep breathing those deeper, longer breaths. One more good breath like that. And we'll just come back up. We get legs out front, but in a wide angle. And see about this. The block, I decided to throw that out there in case it's something you want to use. Here's what I'm actually going to turn to the side a little bit so you'll have a better idea of what I'm doing. You don't need to move yourself at all. Try lifting up and holding yourself in a squatted position. So lifting up, making sure the weight of your body is back into the chair, not into your knees. This one kind of facilitates that. So here's what I was going to say. The block could be used to deepen it by bringing your hands to the block in some way. So you could practice it with hands on the thighs, or you could kind of try to up your game. And for those of you who, are finding yourself a little more flexible and stronger yet, you might just bring your hands to the floor. I've got my palms down. My arms are right inside my legs, lifting up like that. Do a few of these. So just squat, find the way that works well for you. Sit longer than what I'm doing if that's what your body needs. So you don't have to do so many. It's up to, everybody is going to do this the way it suits them. Keep going. I'm just turning so I can continue. Good. Let's come back to center now and circle around as you let your breath find its even rhythm of movement again. And we're just easing our way out of that efforting. Good. Stay with that wide angle. Lift up one leg. Lift it up, hold it, and bring it all the way across. So you're going to be off to the side. Your crossed legs are not in the center. They're off to the side. The top leg, that's what tells you which side how you're gonna turn. So the top leg, oh, I'm gonna turn this way because that's my top leg. Again, I'm really using a lot of leverage with my arms into my legs, and I'm using the leverage of the back of the chair. So if that works for you too, I'm not opposed to that. I think it's helpful. Breathe in, breathe out, lengthen the spine now. We'll unwind the head and then the shoulders. Take that wide angle again. If there's some more movement you need to do to reset, we'll do that. And then lift up. Keep lifting up. Keep your spine long. Lift and hold, and then cross it way over to the other side. Squeeze those legs together. Get your standing foot closer to the chair. We'll be turning the other way, of course. This will twist us in a new direction. Breathe through your twist. You want your body to find and realize the breath moving through the twist and turn of your body, of your spine and of your chest. One more good breath. Deepen that breath. Unwinding the head, unwinding the shoulders, and both feet back to the floor. I want you to just lift up, take turns getting your feet up off the floor, and then your bottom up off the chair. So we're just going to take a couple of these, feet up, then bottom comes up. All the way to standing. I want you to grab your block, please, and put it between your lower legs. So you're squeezing the block between your shins. So shins are in. And feel the strength of your ankles and feet pressing down, making an imprint for you. Pull the belly in, palms face forward, now mountain pose. Unlock your knees. Let's close the eyes. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And just catch up with the breath and elongate the breath down. Trying to breathe in a full body way of breathing. Let your breath be natural, though. It's longer, stronger breath, more intentional, of course. But it's not anything that doesn't feel natural to you. It's like, this is just the way I would catch up with my breath. So the breath can be breathing through your nose, a lot through your mouth, a combination. It's just a natural way of your breath just aligning itself back with this nice, long, strong, upright body now. Inhale with me, palms together. Exhale, bow at the heart. Inhale up, and exhale, take your backstroke all the way down. I'm going to guess we can lose the block for now. I'm pushing it off to the side. Stand near your chair. I'm not moving my chair at all. I'm taking the outside of the leg that's on the outside of the chair, not the one that's close to the backrest. And I just want to square hips, square shoulders. Now take as wide a step. So the distance between your feet is as wide as you feel comfortable. Foot on the chair and the foot on the floor is as far back as you feel comfortable. So you've got the span that is still comfortable and feels secure to you, but maybe a little challenging as well. So we're going to pulse those hips forward. Look out. Don't look at, the lower part of you. You can lift up in your head and have a nice long spine as you pulse forward and back. The pelvis just moves as a single unit. My back heel pops up, and I don't care. That's fine. And just feel the stretch. And then now incorporate a little more of a straight leg coming back. So we started with a deep knee bend, but now try to add the straight leg pulling back. I think it's just awesome to have this chair to hold on to. It's so steadying, and yet your body's working hard. It's not, there's nothing about this that isn't challenging. So use the chair to your best advantage here. So it's lunge. We're working on a lunge position here. And you're going to feel a nice stretch through your legs in all sorts of ways. So bend and hold. Maybe it's not the very deepest bend that you're as far forward as you can. It's maybe sort of in the middle, sort of a neutral bent knee, if you will, middle ground. And see if you can balance yourself from there. Maybe both hands come to the thigh and you think that's good enough. That feels steady, but a little bit shaky anywhere else. So that's where you could land. If you can bring palms to the prayer position at the heart, that'd be great too. So see what you can do. And you know there's a third step, and that would be that arms would be up, palms facing each other. So you choose which of those levels you want to participate in, and then find your breath. Let's give it one more full breath cycle. Arms come back down. Let's get that foot to the floor, right under the chair. I'm just going to kind of bring it down. It's kind of under the chair now. Both legs will be straight. And this might require an adjustment where you step that back foot a little closer to the chair. You'll find out soon enough. This is pyramid pose. So bring your hands to the chair, straight arms. And then how you can start to, and you might feel because both legs are straight that already you're feeling a pretty good stretch, particularly in that front leg. But here's how you deepen it. You start to bend your elbows and you start to bring your upper body closer toward the chair, kind of closer toward that front leg. So you can play with this, easing your way down by bending your elbows. Here's what I want you to be careful of. Head, neck, and spine need to be in alignment. Some people will just let their head drop way down and think, there, that's how I do it. I get my head down and touch, like I can deepen this. Keep your head and neck and spine in alignment. Don't change that. The movement should be elbows. Movement is in your arms so that you're keeping your head aligned with your neck and spine. Some of you may find that you are able to deepen this all the way to the floor where you're not using the chair seat at all. You've brought your fingers to the floor. Some of you might decide, I could put my forehead on that chair seat. Deepen the breath. Feel your good stretch, pyramid pose. Come back up when you're ready. We'll get both feet together. Take your time. And then sort of shake it out. I'm going to move to the other side. Step a foot to the chair. This wide angle that you decide, you might have to play with that a little bit. Hold on to the back of your chair. We're on side 2 now, doing our pulsation, forward and back. Pelvis is moving forward and coming back. And eventually, you're going to start to straighten that leg. So as you pull back, you pull it into a straight leg. A lot of hip activity today. That's kind of been the focus of this practice. A lot of movement and opening in the hips. Hips carry, the pelvis carries a lot of our emotion. Pulling back. All right, let's find that bent knee, sort of a neutral position, not deeply bent, but it's a bend. And then you start to balance. It could be different on this side. You might, so just take your step-by-step process to see where you're at on this side. Remember, your breath is the governing body. It's going to be helping you, where can I still breathe easily and, comfortably and fully? And that's where I'll be. Strong standing leg, really push down so it feels really active and strong. Full breath in and out. Let's bring hands down now, and we're going to bring that foot down, straight leg. So I'm just kind of slipping it under the chair. Like I said, maybe that back foot is going to have to be adjusted because you're going to find out head, neck, and spine stay in alignment while we practice our pyramid. So both legs are straight. All 10 toes are pointing toward the chair. And the way we deepen it is bending the elbow to help us bring our upper body down. So you might pulse a little bit, stretching down, and then you come back up. And remember, there's various ways to express this. You might find you could rest your forehead on the chair seat. You might see that you're pulling yourself completely away from the chair and bringing your hands to the floor. So your chest and head is drawing toward your straight front leg. Deepen the breath. Explore your own way of creating this, of expressing this. Head, neck, and spine stay in alignment. That's really key. Good. Let's start to come back up to neutral. Your feet will come together. Soften those knees. Bring yourself upright. Inhale with me. Palms will be together up and overhead. Exhale, we bow with the heart. Inhale up. And exhale, go all the way down. When you come all the way down, interlace your hands, your fingers, I should say. Interlace them behind your back and pull back now. Pull back so you're opening up through the pecs. Try a forward fold for those of you who want to participate. So soften your knees, take a dive with your head, knuckles reach up. You can do this without the hands interlaced, and instead you just hang down like a rag doll. That's a version of your forward fold that you would rather participate in. So you decide how to go from there. Everybody moves to the rag doll now, releasing your hands, come to the rag doll, and then slowly with soft knees, bring yourself upright. Nice and easy all the way up. Let's find our mountain again. I'm not going to get my block. I'm just going to imagine. Imagine you've got the block between your lower legs. Unlock your knees, palms face forward. Your arms are real close to your side body. Close your eyes now, deepen the breath in this strong position of mountain. Feel how strong your body is. Feel the sensation of prana, that aliveness that you feel in your body because you've been breathing and stretching and activating so many muscles and awarenesses through your joints. And you can just feel its aliveness. Breathe all the way through your cycle. You want a full breath to come in. Take a pause before you let the full breath go out. Standing up strong in your mountain pose. Tadasana. That's the Sanskrit name for this pose. Tadasana. Tada. Look at how strong and stable and confident you are. All right, some of you will be getting a second chair now as we begin to move toward our final relaxation. So if you're moving in that direction, you might be getting your socks on, you might be getting your sweater back on. Good, and then, everybody is finding their way to their own time of final relaxation and stillness. So that's the idea. Get all set up, get comfortable, so that eventually you can land in a place where you're not moving much. You're really trying to foster a place of stillness in the body and the mind. The mind's the tricky part. So I'm just urging you to stay with your practice for these last few minutes. It's probably as important as anything we do in the hour we spend together is these last minutes of final relaxation and stillness. So don't let your mind wander. Bring yourself into this awareness of what you're doing and feeling right now. Remember how we use those mantras for that. We use mantras to keep ourselves centered. And I'm going to ask you to use, if you're open to the idea, no pun on that, but the words that I would like you to consider for mantras today is I am open. I feel open, or I am open. I open. Just encouraging your open-heartedness, the openness to receive the gifts and benefits of your practice. So I am open. I am open. And using the letters of open, came up with this. O, oneness, the fact or state of being unified or whole. P, possibility, able to do things, the possibility. E, eternal, infinite, boundless, timeless. That's the E. N, newness, not existing before, discovered now for the first time. Newness. I am open. Oneness, possibility, eternal, newness. See if you can rest into that. Relax into the truth of your own wholeness. I've stepped off screen, but I'm here as you relax and breathe. Full breaths both in and out. Keeping your focus here and now. Remember to exhale completely each and every time. Keep a softness about your face and your mouth. I am open. Full breath in, full breath out. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out like a sigh. Ah, why don't you do three more of those on your own. Big breath in and a loud sigh. When you finish your cleansing breaths, bring your feet back to the floor. Come forward on your chair. So you're sitting back in a position of strength and alignment. Take your time, finish your breaths, feet to the floor, come forward on the chair. So you're coming back to a place of strength and right alignment. And we're going to meet with our hands crossed at the heart center. So just palm over palm. And just feel your way into that. Eyes are closed. And I just want to go over again the open idea of oneness, possibility, eternal, and newness. So, and when you say, I am open to receive the benefits and blessings of this practice, it's even deeper and wider than before. Open to receive. Stay with me now as we close with the loving kindness meditation. So, hands could be like this on your lap or in a prayer position, your choice. Remember, this meditation starts with a blessing for ourselves. The very same blessing, the words that we use to draw in the blessing that we can identify with so easily and quickly. We offer that next to the people in our circle, meaning the people we know and love. Even if it's just that you're familiar with them, you see them all the time, you're not even sure what their name is, but they're people within your circle of awareness. And then finally, the very same blessing is offered to all people everywhere. People far, far from us, people who have a very different life, all people everywhere get the same blessing as we are one. This idea of yoga is about recognizing the oneness of us all. So let's begin. May I be safe and protected. May I be happy and at peace. May I be healthy and strong. May I live with ease. May you be safe and protected. May you be happy and at peace. May you be healthy and strong. May you live with ease. May all people everywhere be safe and protected. May they be happy and at peace, healthy and strong. May all people everywhere, every person, every being, live with ease. Join me now as we close our practice. Inhale up, palms will be together overhead. Exhale, bow at your own heart. Inhale up, and exhale, we'll share this beautiful, peaceful energy, loving kindness energy with our communities. And palms come to the prayer position. We bow to ourselves and to each other. Namaste, my friends. And thank you for joining me today.